Good evening, Chair. Calls to order Legislative Session Day 26006. I would ask you to please join us for the pledge, followed by the opening prayer by Councilman Riley. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, before Councilman Riley starts, I want to remind everyone that this is the 10th anniversary of probably one of the worst days in Harford County's history. I want to remember our two fallen deputies, Pat Daly and Mark Lautzen, and appreciate the sheriff and the deputies, the sheriff's office members, not letting their memory fade away. Mr. Riley.
Heavenly Father, thank you for the gift of life, for the opportunity to serve the people of our county. We ask that you guide our council as they gather to discuss matters affecting our community. May our attentions and our actions be rooted in the good of the public, not in our own personal interest. Grant us the wisdom to address our county challenges and to craft sound policies that serve the common good. Help us to govern with competence and excellence, to listen with understanding and goodwill, to speak with clarity and restraint, and to serve with humility and grace. In your most blessed name we pray. And now, if we can, let's have a moment of silence for our fallen deputies. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Riley. 4, presentation of proclamations. Hometown hero. We have been contacted by one of our local businesses, one of our local residences, in reference to a public safety issue, and I'd like to call not only Mr. Grossbarth with Same Day Express, but Scott and Sheriff come forward. Joanne, please come forward.
Whereas be it hereby known, whereas Robert Reynolds stopped his same-day express SDX truck on Maryland Route 543 to allow a C. Milton Wright High School student to walk to the school on the crosswalk. One driver tried to pass the line of stopped vehicles at the same time the student was in the crosswalk, and whereas Robert saw the driver trying to pass while the student was in the crosswalk and placed his truck in the path of the oncoming vehicle, his safety awareness and action prevented the severe injury and possibly death of the student, and whereas we commend Mr. Reynolds' confidence and swift decision-making to guarantee that the student was able to arrive at the school safely, now, therefore, we, the County Council of Harford County, Maryland, on this 10th day of February 2026, do hereby recognize Robert S. Reynolds, Same Day Express, hometown hero, and express our appreciation for his dedication to the safety of the citizens of Harford County.
So it's my pleasure on behalf of the entire council to present you with this proclamation, but I would like to invite Joanne to kind of give her thoughts. Because of her, this is taking place.
Oh, wow, I wasn't expecting to speak. But there is, I guess, I'm proud that Harford County is recognizing Scott for this, because I think that in itself is pretty unusual. I'm proud to see that the sheriff and his deputy is also here, because that's major. And also the company. You know, the company obviously, in my opinion, has demonstrated either through training or their meetings and what they say that safety is a priority for their company. But the employee still needs to execute on it, which is what he did. It took me probably a minute worth of dialogue to explain what happened, of what he did in probably 4 seconds. I mean, that's how fast it all went down. And I was back just far enough to like have the panoramic vision of everything. I'm getting upset. But yeah, I was pretty impressed.
Thank you, thank you. Can you pass that to the sheriff?
Oh, sorry.
No, not at all, please. Joanne, come on, you can come on back. Okay. I just, first, I want to thank Council President Vincetti, Councilman Riley, the entire council for their kind words and remarks, reference Pat and Mark. Horrible day, but Harford County certainly came together 10 years ago, and we were together again today in the 10th anniversary remembering our fallen heroes. But we're here for a wonderful thing, and we're not here for another sad thing, thankfully, thanks to Robert's quick thinking and actions. So on behalf of the nearly 700 men and women of the Harford County Sheriff's Office, I am proud as the Sheriff of Harford County with Bill Davis, the Chief Deputy, to be here to recognize Robert tonight. And I walking up, I heard Scott, and I'm like, uh-oh, mine says Robert. So we can add that, but I understand you go by Scott. Okay. I need to see your driver's license. But we have at the Sheriff's Office a Sheriff's Salute, and what that is much like the proclamation from the council, our way of recognizing law enforcement, corrections, or civilians to go above and beyond. And certainly in this instance, we recognize that Robert's quick thinking and actions very likely saved a life, if not serious injury to a young person, perhaps even saved a life. So quickly I'll read the salute, whereas Robert Scott, it's not on there, but I'm going to say it, Scott Reynolds, an employee of Same Day Express, demonstrated exceptional awareness and quick judgment while operating his company vehicle on Route 543 in Harford County on January 9th, 2026. And whereas Mr. Reynolds had stopped for a student crossing the roadway near C. Milton Wright High School, and upon observing another vehicle attempting to pass stopped traffic, deliberately positioned his truck to block the vehicle, preventing it from entering the crosswalk and striking the student. And whereas, through his decisive and selfless actions, Mr. Reynolds likely prevented a serious accident from occurring and even perhaps saved a life, he exemplified the highest standards of safety, responsibility, and concern for the well-being of others, for which he is deserving of recognition and commendation. Now therefore I, Jeffrey R. Gaylor, Sheriff of Harford County, on behalf of the members of the Harford County Sheriff's Office, do hereby salute Robert Scott Reynolds for his commitment to the safety of the citizens of Harford County by presenting him with this Sheriff's Salute. The Colonel has a uniform pin for you.
We also, with one of our deputies got the same award, they would get this as well. I'm assuming maybe you could wear it under your uniform. Thank you.
Yeah, can I wear this? Okay.
And a challenge coin on behalf of the men and women of the office.
Thank you.
And I would like to say to Joanne,
Yeah, totally, thank you.
thank goodness, how many times, you can't have a police everywhere. As much as I might like it, you can't have the police everywhere. But thank you for recognizing this and taking the time to start this process to make sure that Tim knew that he deserved the recognition. Thank you, sir.
No, I'm good. It's all been said. I'm fine.
I'm good too, Scott.
I'm good too.
All right.
Thank you.
And I'm sure there's actions like this on a regular basis, but we don't know about it if someone doesn't tell us. So Joanne, thank you for bringing it to everyone's attention. Can you turn that proclamation around? I'm not so worried about the sheriff's salute. Yeah, Tim, I clearly don't need your help.
All right, if we could have all of you in front scoot this way just a little bit, we're gonna get you centered. Awesome, I can see everybody, make sure you can see the camera, I'm gonna count down and make sure all your eyes are open, we don't get any blinks. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, we're gonna use it out flash. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and one more. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 5, consideration of petitions, applications, appointments, and nominations. We have none. 6, special presentations. We have none. 7, approval of minutes. Special legislative day 25-004, February 3rd, 2026. Legislative day 25-005, February 3rd, 2026. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Being no corrections, the minutes stand approved. Mr. Jan Giordano, please read Resolution 00526 and 00626 into the record for introduction.
Resolution 005-26, MEDAF grant as introduced by Council President Vincenti at the request of the County Executive. A resolution endorsing a loan in the amount of $600,000 from the Department of Commerce, the Department, to the Loughborough and Company, Inc., LUFCO, or an entity acceptable to the Department, the loan, pursuant to the Maryland Economic Development Assistance Fund 5-301 through 5-349 of the Economic Development Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland to assist LUFCO with the purchase and improvements of a 73,000 square foot facility located at 1204 Technology Drive, Aberdeen, Maryland, the project site, for the establishment of a new manufacturing facility, and acknowledging an Advantage Maryland MEDAF grant in an amount not to exceed to $60,000 from Harford County, Maryland, to assist LUFCO with infrastructure upgrades at the project site. Public hearing scheduled on Tuesday, March 10th, 2026, at 7 p.m. in East Council Chambers. Resolution 006-26, Citizens Nursing Home Board Authorization, Executive Director, Resident Agent, as introduced by Council President Vincenti at the request of the County Executive, a resolution authorizing the Executive Director for the Citizens Nursing Home Board of Harford County to serve as the resident agent for the Citizens Nursing Home Board of Harford County.
Mr. Marshak?
Good evening, Council President and County Council members. My name is Tim Marshak. I'm an Assistant County Attorney with the Department of Law. Thank you for this opportunity this evening to present this resolution, the purpose of which is for the Executive Director of the Citizens Nursing Home Board of Harford County to be the resident agent of that board. Just as some background, a little bit of history, the Citizens Nursing Home Board of Harford County was formed in accordance with Harford County Code Section 9-146. The board oversees and makes recommendations to the management of the Citizens Care and Rehabilitation Center in Havre de Grace, Maryland. That center is a comprehensive health center that provides various nursing care, rehabilitation, respite care, hospice care, and memory care as well. The trade name Citizens Care and Rehabilitation Center was first acquired in January of 2005 and was renewed multiple times until 2025, most recently. The board acquired that name in December of 2013 and has utilized that trade name, Citizens Care and Rehabilitation Center, to acquire certain licenses with various state and federal entities. The board has successfully renewed this trade name until certain State Department of Assessment and Taxation policy revisions in 2025. The State Department of Assessment and Taxation rejected the board's application for the trade name renewal, citing that this revised policy provision required that this trade name be associated with a registered entity with the State Department of Assessment and Taxation. The State Department of Assessment and Taxation advised that the board, given the nature of the board, must follow a certification of a resident agent pursuant to Section 1-1301 of the Local Government Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland to be able to successfully renew that trade name that, again, is associated with certain state and federal agencies. The care and treatment of the patients receiving services at this healthcare center will be significantly and adversely impacted in the event that the board is unable to renew that trade name, specifically Citizens Care and Rehabilitation Center, given that it is, again, connected with certain state and federal agency licenses. In order for Citizens Care, or that board, to obtain and file for a trade name, the State Department of Assessments and Taxation requires a certified copy of a resolution authorizing a person to accept service of process for the board, which is why the resolution, we're asking for the authorization for the executive director of that board to be appointed, or to be the resident agent, as he is the appropriate person. And I am available for any questions, or open for any questions relating to that.
Tim, thank you for your presentation. So if the director were to change, then that agent would change as well?
Not automatically. That would require some type of action. It would be an amendment or a refiling of the new resident agent to change that name. The State Department of Assessment and Taxation requires that an individual be named as opposed to just a title.
Thank you. Mr. Bennett, any questions? Anyone else? Thank you, Tim. We'll take this up on the 17th.
Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Mr. Giandrinano, please read Bill 26001 into the record for introduction, please.
Bill 26-001, Harford County SOPP Amendment as introduced by Council President Vincenti at the request of the County Executive. An act to repeal and reenact with amendments, Section 29-1, Harford County Sheriff's Office Pension Plan of Chapter 29, Harford County Sheriff's Office Pension, and to repeal and reenact with amendments, Section 3.2D, Credit for Prior Law Enforcement and Correctional Service of the Sheriff's Office Pension Plan as incorporated by reference in Chapter 29, Harford County Sheriff's Office Pension, all of the Harford County Code, as amended to extend the deadline for purchasing service credit for prior law enforcement and correctional service. Public hearing scheduled on Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in these council chambers.
Thank you. Agenda item 10, introduction and consideration of amendments. We have none. 11, call for final reading of bills. We have none. 12, enrollment of bills, none. 13, unfinished business, none. 14, new business, none. 15, comments and input from attending citizens. Ms. Dixon, do we have anyone signed up?
There is no one signed up, Mr. President.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. 16, business from council members. Mr. Riley, we'll start with you tonight.
Okay, I only have one. I've been down Annapolis dealing with the General Asylum down there, and the governor is trying to take away our local zoning rights. And so MACO is made up of 23 counties and one city, and we're doing the best we can to fight him on that. Last year, we fought him back and won, and hopefully we'll do the same. But any help from this agency, calling your state delegates and senators, definitely will not hurt. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Ms. Saddles?
Thank you, Council President. Today, we remember Senior Deputy Pat Daly and Deputy First Class Mark Logston on their 10th anniversary of their end of watch. As a council member, I remain committed to honoring their legacy by supporting our law enforcement officers and honoring their sacrifice. At last night's Aberdeen City Council meeting, the council confirmed the appointment of a new city attorney, Elizabeth Thompson. They discussed proposed updates to the city's development code, reviewed the city's 2-year SMART goals, and announced notification from the state that the city is earmarked to receive $2 million for the Swan Meadows Water and Sewer Line project. That's all I have this evening. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Ms. Saddles. Mr. Bennett?
Hello, good evening. It's good to be with everybody. This upcoming Thursday is the Abingdon, Emerton, Bell Camp, Perryman cab meeting. There's a lot of places in that cab. I always love attending these cab meetings because it's a great opportunity to engage with your government in a little bit of a different way. There's no big podium separating you from your elected officials, and you're able to have pretty good open conversations. So that's going to be this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at the Abingdon Firehouse. So I encourage people to come to that. And then, I love having an audience to stare at me on these Tuesday nights, but I'm actually hoping that maybe next Tuesday you'll be at North Harford High School on February 17th at 6:30 p.m. for the county executive's budget town hall. It's unfortunate that that's scheduled for the same time as us having a council meeting, because it means that we as a council cannot be there to hear what the community has to say, but I know my legislative aide will be there to listen and to take notes. And that's your one time throughout the year that you're able to speak directly to the county executive in a public forum and share your thoughts on the county budget. So again, I really encourage everybody in the community to come and share their thoughts, no matter what their thoughts are on the county budget and what you want to see happen in our community. So 6:30 p.m. Next Tuesday, the 17th at North Harford High School. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Ms. Robert?
Thank you. And I wanted to mention about the town hall too. I did put a request in for the county executive to have a second one for the fact that I like attending them, and also to put it in another part of the county so that other people are able to access. So we'll find out if my request occurs. But on Friday, in honor of February, is American Heart Association month. And so I attended the Dress in Red on Friday down in Baltimore. It's always a nice event. This is my third year attending, and you always learn something new. And this year they did CPR right there on the stage with the ADA unit, and it was interesting. And so that's always a good time. And then I attended on Saturday the 2026 Langston Hughes Youth Oratorical Contest at the Cultural Center in Havre Grace. That was a beautiful experience. Those kids are wonderful. Their speeches are brilliant, and I commend them for being able to do what they did. And we awarded, gave certificates out for those. And then today we had our Mental Health Addiction Advisory Council meeting this morning, and we're still looking at, Harford County has 1.5% higher suicide rate than majority of the state. And so we're still trying to figure out what that is. And we were also talking a lot about guns, gun safety today. Is that part of the problem? We did ask to see if we can get some statistics on where all these suicides are occurring across the county to figure out what specific areas they may be in. But that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robert. Ms. Imhoff?
Good evening. Last Friday I was able to meet with the Humane Society and kind of go over some of their asks for this coming budgetary year. I've also been able to meet with the library to kind of get an idea as to what they're going to be asking the county executive for. I like to kind of have a general idea of what the general asks are before they come to us with a finished binder. So I was able to speak with them a little bit about some of their needs. Earlier this morning, I was able to attend the Mental Health and Addictions Advisory Council with Councilwoman Robert, and I was also able to attend the Family Life Advisory Committee for Harford County Public Schools, and just kind of talk about the different curriculum changes that MSDE is talking about moving forward. Upcoming events, Wednesday, February 18th, there will be a Community and Reinvestment and Repair Fund virtual town hall from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. You will be able to learn how these funds are being used in Harford County and hear presentations from past recipients. Also, the Harford County Humane Society, along with the Harford County Health Department, will be hosting a pet vaccine clinic on Saturday, February 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Abingdon Fire Company. No appointments are necessary, but they're always a good idea. And then just a reminder, two upcoming community advisory boards, February 12th, Abingdon, Emerton, CAB meeting, 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Abingdon Fire Company. And then February 25th, the Fallston Community Advisory Board is also meeting from 6:30 to 8 at the Veronica Chenoweth Activity Center. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Imhoff. Mr. Giangiordano?
Thank you, Council President. We had a Veterans Commission meeting last Thursday. Please keep your veterans in your thoughts, especially this time of the year with the cold weather. I went out to the warming center on Edgewood on Sunday that they opened up, and when I got out there early in the morning, about 8:30, there was like 10 people in there. They were going to keep that all the way up until Monday. I mean, with the wind chills, it was below zero on Saturday and just about zero on Sunday, so very frigid, and hopefully we had enough spaces for people to keep warm. Was at the Board of Education meeting last night, spoke about not renewing Dr. Bolson's contract, and of course, the board did vote not to renew his contract. Look forward to seeing who our new superintendent will be down the road. It'll be so very interested in that. February, Bel Air is hosting the Family Fun at the Armory on Saturday. Doors are going to open at 10:45. Also, this is, a lot of people don't know that, but this is the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. So, you know, nobody, I think, realizes that back in 1926. So it's been a long time, but you know, just there's a lot of history for a lot of different groups. So just make sure you remember and just treat everybody like you want to be treated, and we'll be doing good. And then finally, I think today's a day like 9/11. You never forget where you're at with Senior Deputy Patrick Daly and First Class Mark Loxton. I was in my office watching all the police cars go by. I knew something was going on. I called a couple of the police and deputies that I knew, and they told me it was bad. So it stuck in my head to this day. And today, when I knew that was coming up, I immediately remembered where I was and what I was doing. So my heart goes out to their family. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Giangiordano. 17, business from the president. I started my morning this morning at 6:30 with the deputies at Panera for the flag lowering to remember the deputies and their families. And it's always a very somber scene for sure, but we can never forget that day. So thank all of our deputies, all of our first responders for their service to the county. Also, I was not there last night, but they did vote unanimously to sever their relationship, Board of Ed, with Dr. Bolson, not to renew his contract. This is clearly the correct, only current decision due to the most recent events that they could come up with, and I believe that it is for the best for our students, educators, parents, and our county to move forward. And then finally, condolences. Jeannie and I wish to express our deepest condolences to the Gallion family, the Harlan family, the Umbarger family, the Dallin family, and friends. Received notice today that Joe Gallion passed away suddenly. He's a longtime member of the Level community. And Louise Umbarger recently passed away. She's a lifelong resident of Harford County, dairy farmer, taught 5th grade across several schools in Harford County, and we'd ask you to keep all of their family and friends in your thoughts and prayers. And with that, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you.
Mr. President, if I could just take liberty, before we end, Mr. Tibbs, don't forget this Saturday. You know what it is, right?
Don't put me on the spot.
It's Valentine's Day, sir. Don't want you to be in trouble, you know what I mean? Have a good week.
Thank you.